Hey, my name's Patrick O'Callahan. Most of you know me as Ciderhelm. Instead of a sexy human avatar, you all get to see my lovely Irish face instead. Now, this is my first time doing a recording in just over a year, so I'm probably going to sound a little bit scripted here. But don't worry, this will change as I get more comfortable and release future videos. I'd like to start by saying a little bit about myself and who I am. I'm a web designer, an entrepreneur, and a project leader. And I do this both for TankSpot, where most of you have probably seen a lot of the work I've done there, but I also do it for a handful of other websites as well. Now, TankSpot's the largest of these sites, so you're not missing out on too much by not knowing where all those are, but I'm sure you'll learn about them more as time goes on. I enjoy creating guides, whether through the written guides that you guys have seen on the Warcraft forums for all the warriors who used to visit, years ago. Actually, I think they're all still sticky there, which probably they shouldn't be because I haven't updated them in about 2 years. But yeah, if you're familiar with that, I do really enjoy writing guides, but I also have enjoyed the video guides quite a bit. I mean, that really became the passion in Wrath of the Lich King. So I know that most of my audience here is actually more familiar with that than the written guides that we had done before, or basically any of the written guides on TankSpot. But there's also a lot of crossover. I mean, a lot of you guys are familiar with both too. So I do really enjoy that. That is a passion. I do really love just kind of getting in there and getting into those cool things like telling people, here's a cool strategy we found. Maybe it'll help your guild. Maybe this is something that you want to do. Now my biggest passion personally in everything that I do is working with smart people and building communities. Both of those are very, very important to me. So whether it's through writing guides and, contacting people saying, is this right? Talking to Satrina early on to figure out, what exactly the mechanics are, but also in getting feedback from the community, from people who, in a lot of cases, know more about what they're talking about than I do. Getting that feedback, really learning from the community. That's always been something I just passionately enjoy. Certainly working with the video authors that we have on TankSpot, that's also been a large part of that. It's a lot of fun just to work with these people and, see their working processes, see what they come up with. So that's really what I enjoy in everything that I do. And so that also is kind of the groundwork for understanding, why I work on TankSpot, what I do on TankSpot, and what I'm going to do on this channel separate of TankSpot going forward. One of the most common questions that I'm asked and am private messaged, and our video authors are private messaged, and is posted on the forums, and is posted to the official forums, is basically, do you, Ciderhelm, still play Warcraft anymore? The quick answer to that is casually, very casually. I do a lot of the testing. I do, the PTR, certainly testing environments. I do very casually play in the live game too. But basically the situation is, how to put this, the Warcraft community has provided me with a lot of good experiences and a lot of good opportunities. And this has been an ongoing process over the last several years. I mean, I've gotten just genuinely awesome opportunities to follow up on. Again, TankSpot is a perfect example of this. And starting that and building the community there. So I've always been excited about the community of Warcraft on this level, and especially since you bring in such a broad, diverse set of players into the Warcraft environment. However, part of this is, why am I playing casually? Don't all you guys recognize me as a hardcore raider? Even in vanilla, very hardcore raider, but even in Wrath of the Lich King, I was, doing pretty well. We were going through the final hard modes of Ulduar, and then you kind of saw me drop off the face of Warcraft, of Azeroth. So what happened there? Basically, I found that when I'm seriously invested in Warcraft, I've had a lot less time to handle other parts of my life. Between building TankSpot, which is a full-time job of its own, and really was just sucking up 30, 40 hours a week easily, and between that and doing other jobs, and raiding, I didn't have time for basic things like spending time with my family or taking care of my body. Raiding also really destroyed my ability to focus. As a raid leader, I was constantly worrying about recruitment, absences, and other issues that are just kind of natural to the raid scene, the guild leading scene. These are things that I know a lot about because I've experienced them all, but I don't really enjoy them on that level anymore because it felt like when I was raiding, a lot of the problems we were coming across in raid content was not like, oh, we've got to learn how to do this cool new mechanic. We're basically going through the struggle of saying, we've got to recruit someone to replace this guy who can't figure out how to not stand in the fire. And I know that's a classic example here, but it's basically what the game is at the level we were playing. So we weren't quite in that like top 40 level. We were just below that, and by being just below that, we were basically at the level where we had just enough players to make it extremely frustrating to raid on a hardcore level, but still feeling like we should be raiding on a hardcore level, so we were still pushing ourselves and spending, 20 hours a week or however long just wiping over and over and over again and just struggling through this. So on one hand, I really do enjoy that environment. I mean, I really do enjoy the environment of, go into Ulduar, do this awesome thing. We're going to go through this, and Ulduar just was an awesome set of content. It's the best that I've had in World of Warcraft since way back in vanilla. I really love vanilla content, especially Max 40 Man. But Ulduar was really just a fun challenge. But as it was tying down right at the release of Trial of the Crusader, I said, I've got to stop this. And Trial of the Crusader had a number of other things too. It was just, those 5 quick instances, but we were still spending like a day just getting stuff sorted out for basically 10-minute encounters. And it just became this huge issue of people management and no longer an issue of, I'm enjoying this game. So part of it is also that the game just got stale after a long time. Now, that's a long-winded thing that I'll probably want to discuss more, because I do still really enjoy Warcraft, and I am still very invested in the testing environment of Warcraft. So you are going to see more from me coming down the road as far as content. But right now, I am not in a serious raiding guild. I'm not actively logging in to raid in a serious raiding guild. That's a better way of saying that. So right now, you're not going to see me producing raid movies, but you may see some of that coming into Cataclysm. It kind of depends on how things work out. But at the very least, you are going to see more content from me in Cataclysm. And you're also going to see more content unrelated to Tank Spot coming out on this channel. So, and for those of you who missed the announcement, our Warcraft content is actually going over to ZAMOfficial. Go ahead and subscribe there. I'll put a little link here. And other content that I'm doing separate of Warcraft, that Alien is doing separate of Warcraft, and that Lore is doing separate of Warcraft, that'll be coming onto this channel. But we're generally going to be publishing just as much as we have, actually quite a bit more than we have in the past, to the ZAMOfficial channel. So make sure you go over there. But anyway, back to the question of, well, what's my situation? Why am I playing casually? What am I doing? Basically, up until when I stopped making movies last year, what I'm bringing up about like losing focus, having these other issues with just time management, there was just too much going on. But my ability to just focus on other parts of my life and say, I want to go work on this project right now. I've got a game project. This is a real example. I've got a game project that I really want to work on. We've got a few people interested that are programming on this. But we're spending so much time just worried about raiding. We're worried about logging in, seeing who's not going to be there. If we don't have enough people, canceling the raid, doing it another day, but we've already wasted this day. These kinds of things just destroyed my ability to focus on other things I wanted to pursue. So what I wound up doing is, basically up until I stopped making movies last year, I had been consistently gaining weight, for instance. And I've been consistently gaining weight since I began playing Warcraft. And for a variety of reasons, most of you guys are going to be familiar with this. I don't want to get on this, the usual crusade of, video gamers just gain weight, whatever, they don't take care of themselves. But essentially, that is a real thing that we have to deal with in the gaming community. There's no way of denying that. And that's something that I personally dealt with. So about the time you saw me stop posting Warcraft video guides, about the end of Ulduar, I think the last one I might have done was like Mimiron, but even that I don't really quite remember. I think T-Tox might have done Mimiron. Mimiron's the last encounter we finished as a hard mode, so I have no idea what my last movie was. But that's okay. That's when I decided to take my life back and basically pursue my other passions, the other things that I wanted to get done in my life. And a major part of that, and this is something I'm absolutely going to discuss in future video content, in the last year, I basically lost 70 pounds by eating better, taking care of my body, and going to the gym every day. And these are things that, before I was able to really just get that focus and, regain my focus after having so much that I had to deal with, these are things I wasn't getting done. So I was basically doing a lot of harm to my life in several areas, but I was also learning a lot of skills as far as people management, recruitment, certainly a lot of skills in developing TankSpot, server management, security, things like that. Even working, one of the things people probably don't know is just the wide variety of things that go on behind the scenes on TankSpot. We've worked with even things like local law enforcement. I've had to get on the phone with people in police departments to solve issues where people were acting maliciously towards authors, things like that. So there's actually quite a bit that goes on here, and I've basically been developing these skills every day through this. So it's not a matter of just like, well, Warcraft did all these bad things. It actually does a lot of good too, and it's a matter of figuring out how to make this work. And frankly, there's a lot of lessons you can learn from people like myself who've had to kind of confront themselves about, okay, I'm losing control of part of my life. I don't want to have lost this much control over my body. I don't want to be this overweight. I do not like how this makes me feel. So these are things that really just kind of come into play. It's more complex than just saying gaming is bad, MMOs are bad. But personally, just so you guys understand, I don't play as seriously, and you're probably never going to see me play as seriously as I used to play. It's just not something I'm willing to commit myself to. But the game as a whole is something I'm still committed to, and playing the game is something I will still be doing. Certainly testing the game, coming up with feedback, and promoting the environment where other people who are very smart, very knowledgeable about the game are going to be able to get involved and help out the community. That's something I'm still going to be there doing. And as part of that, one of the things people don't always get, like people think that I've been like fired from the job or something, or what happened to Ciderhelm, or who got rid of Ciderhelm, or I'm still running the site. Like this is, even though I'm not making the videos, part of what I've had to pick up recently is things like just administering all these videos that we have from different authors. There was no way that I was going to be able to produce all of these videos that TankSpot needed, no matter what guild I was in. We were getting to a point where we had to put out like 100 movies in the course of 4 or 5 months. That's a lot of extra work. So getting into that role, that's a lot of what I do too. And all those posts that you see made by me, all the YouTube videos that are uploaded, those are all me actually doing that process. And those are, when comments are made, you're going to get the comment responses from our authors. Like Aliena has her own account on YouTube. Lore has his own account on YouTube. If you get a response from them, it's them. If you get a response from me, it's me. So that's just something to keep in mind. I am still very actively involved in the community, still paying very, very much attention to the community. And certainly I'm still, I'm here. I'm not dead. I'm not a zombie. I haven't been run over. Don't trust Lore when he says I'm in a hospital, anything like that. I'm very much still here. So one of the things people are asking about is, well, what's this deal with ZAMOfficial? Why is this going on a different channel? Why is the TankSpot channel be putting on a different channel where all the other ZAM video content is going to be instead of on the TankSpot channel? Well, there's quite a bit to this answer, but the first thing is, this isn't the TankSpot channel. This is my personal channel. I love, putting up the TankSpot videos here. I very much appreciate you guys, coming in, subscribing, ideally loving the content we produce, and we're making better content now. If you check out our Halion guide, Aliena put that together. It's actually really well done. It was a significant improvement over what we've done in the past. But there's more to it. Like, we wanted to post other videos onto this channel, and anytime we put up anything that wasn't strictly Warcraft related, we get a ton of feedback saying, why are you guys doing this to my TankSpot channel? Why are you guys doing this? It can get frustrating. I mean, it can genuinely get frustrating because TankSpot's not the only thing I ever want to do with video creation. No, don't get me wrong. We love doing our videos for TankSpot, and we're doing more of them, but it's not the only thing we want to do. So we're getting into a situation where we're going to start publishing probably a ton of different content onto this channel, and then we'd have a bigger problem than if we actually split it up. So the decision to go ahead with a ZAMOfficial channel is actually to get the content more focused on gaming, but specifically on Warcraft. You're not going to see too much of, okay, well, what about Final Fantasy here? Why are there a bunch of Final Fantasy videos on here? what you're generally going to see is the same stuff we're already publishing to TankSpot's front page, like the BFF report. I love Phony. Personal opinion, his videos have been getting a lot better. I've been enjoying them a lot more, especially in like the recent 5 or 6 BFF reports. I've started to, I kind of before didn't actually watch them all the way through, and now I watch them all the way through and enjoy them all the way through. So that's just, I've been enjoying his videos a lot more, but that's basically what we're going to be sharing space with, and it's what we're already publishing to our front page. There may be other videos coming down the line that aren't going to be directly Warcraft related, but the other thing we're going to be doing on this new ZAMOfficial channel is sorting it out by playlist. So worst case scenario, you absolutely hate everything else, you can still subscribe by the playlist instead of the channel. Ideally, though, you're going to see that there's going to be so much of the content as Warcraft related that you're going to want to actually get in there and subscribe to the whole channel. And certainly, so that's part of it. And also keep in mind, I'm actually heading up the creation of that channel, setting up that channel. That's not something that some corporate bigwig is saying, yeah, you guys better put all your stuff on our channel. This is the best way to do this. This is actually me actually going in there and setting it up. So it's being directly handled by us. Yeah, we're obviously working very well with the ZAM team on this, but it is being directly handled by us. We're not trying to screw you over. We're actually trying to provide better content. And one of the kind of broader implications that comes up is well, did you guys sell out? Did you guys sell out? No. Well, yes and no. I mean, technically we sold out because we got acquired by ZAM. This may be news to some of you, but we actually got acquired by ZAM. But generally speaking, it wasn't a situation where ZAM said, okay, well, here's $1 million, or some crazy amount. We were already a profitable site. We didn't get a major financial boost by doing this. What we were able to do is, during the acquisition, I hope I'm not crossing any boundaries here, during the acquisition, we basically brought people who were volunteers on the site and started paying them. That's what the acquisition entailed. So this isn't a matter of us just selling out. This isn't a matter of, well, ZAM just made a bunch of big money offer over to TankSpot. We were already making money. Now we're actually able to provide monetary compensation for some of our volunteer staff who have been working hard for quite a while on the site. And that's just something to keep in mind. Anyway, so even though it was a little bit awkward for me, and this is my first time on camera doing an actual video interview here, but I've really enjoyed this opportunity. We're going to have some cool stuff coming up on this channel. I can't really announce it because we haven't exactly nailed out exactly what it's going to be yet. But Aliana and Laura have plans. I have plans too. We are going to be making this channel something independent of what we're doing for Warcraft. That said, to re-emphasize, everything we're doing for Warcraft, we're still doing. You are still going to be able to get this high-quality content. I would strongly suggest that you head over to ZAMOfficial, subscribe there, and if you only want Warcraft content, to be very frank, go ahead and unsubscribe to our channel, because what we don't want to do is wind up spamming your inbox with a whole bunch of videos from us, non-related to Warcraft, that you get upset about and then say, oh, why are you guys spamming my inbox with this stuff? So go ahead and unsubscribe if you really just don't want non-Warcraft stuff. That's acceptable. A little sad. Very sad. But for sure, whatever you do, if you are looking for that Warcraft content, go over to ZAMOfficial, subscribe there. Everything we're doing is still going to be going over there. So no cancellation of anything, only additional things. I mean, we're still doing our weekly marmots, still doing our raid guides, as you saw with Halion. We're also going to be doing quest guides. We're also going to be doing a whole lot of other things related to Cataclysm. There's a lot you can look forward to as far as Warcraft content. We are still absolutely in charge of it. We are improving our quality. These are things we've been planning for months and months and months. So I would strongly suggest, if you like Warcraft, check out this other channel, subscribe to it. Also, if you do want to keep up with us, subscribe to us if you haven't already. Keep your subscription if you currently have one, because we're still going to make movies. One other thing, we're probably going to be raising money for cameras soon. This is something just to... we looked at okay, so Lily did the Raid movie series, right? And he was raising money for his documentary. And he's doing a great job with that. In fact, he's going to be... I hope I'm not dropping... Actually... there's a big, exciting secret in this coming soon that I can't say because I don't know if he's going to allow it to be said, but there is a big, exciting secret coming soon with the raid. Unless he's already announced. I actually don't know. We'll find out. But all that said, we're probably going to be doing a much smaller Kickstarter campaign to actually raise money, so the cameras that you're seeing us recorded on aren't awful webcams. And yes. So anyway, keep that in mind. That is something we're going to be doing soon. We'll only do that once we've announced actually what our plans are for this channel and what our plans are generally going forward. Again, thank you all for watching this. Hopefully it's not too awkward. I know I've got the most beautiful face on YouTube. You guys all, yeah. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. My Twitter is twitter.com/Ciderhelm. Lore's is DevilLore. Aliana's is Aliana85. On the channel, you can actually click our little banner on the bottom left side of the banner. You can click it and go to any of our Twitters if you want to add us there. Yeah. Well, this has been enjoyable.